So for today, we're just going to go ahead and take a spin on Tempo Assassin, which is really just like mid-range Assassin. Assassin tends to focus more on like tempo-oriented plays than just raw power, like say a Sorcerer does though, so that's usually why I refer to it as Tempo Assassin. But Assassin's one of my favorite decks to play, and I've played it very little this season. So I thought I would take her for a spin, and we're playing against Mono Endurance right out of the gate. I think this is a pretty easy mulligan. We have no early game. This is a deck that runs a large number of 2-drops, as you can see from the screen. We have the Curses, we have the Firebolts, but then we have, that's right, 15 2-drops. So we certainly wanted to go and try to find one.
They make it too
it's even more important because we're starting with the ring and we want to generate that tempo. Now, we don't have as many 3-drops here.
has had enough.
Careful there, friend.
Let's go ahead and do that. So, other than Mummify, I don't suspect them to have a whole lot to deal with that directly. Oh, it looks like he's running into some issues.
Your blood will spill.
has had enough.
Let's go ahead and tempo out a dragon. Again, other than like the new Waves of the Fallen, there's not much in Endurance. Again, Mono Endurance, really something interesting. Not much that they can do to punish the lane stacking, so we're going to go ahead and continue down this path. Now, that'll likely change up what we do here. I will also say, while we're playing, that I got a couple of updates here. Now, it wouldn't shock me if this ends up getting silenced next turn, but even if he silences it, this has wards, so that works out in our favor. I do want to go ahead and say that we might have a small interruption in content creation here in the near future. I'm going to have to travel for work. Alright, well, there you go. Hooray. Kind of feel really bad about that, but yeah, I'm going to be traveling for work Sunday through Wednesday of this week upcoming. I'm going to Indianapolis for a convention. Shocker, because I feel like every convention's in Indianapolis because of its central location in the country. And I don't know how that's going to affect content. I doubt the hotel internet's going to support me being able to stream from it. The laptop I own is even older than my 7-year-old PC, so video editing is probably not likely. Probably not going to be a thing. Alright, so now we're up against the mythical Sorcerer. We're going to keep this, even though this is pretty weak in this matchup, it does at least replace itself, and we're going to hope to find 2-drops. And we found a 2-drop, but this is probably the weakest 2-drop because we're not exactly wanting to play that for tempo. Well, usually we're not, but I think in this instance, it's fine. We want to fight for board presence, board control. Sorcerer does not play well from behind. So the more that we can combat that, the better.
Careful there, friend.
Alright, so the Word Crafter comes in. Oh, what a top deck. What a top deck. So we're going to go ahead and push this face. We're going to set this up over here to maybe trade that and give us a contract. And we're just going to go ahead and keep that. Nice quality tempo play. So he still gets the dagger, but he loses the trigger on this and his creature. Alright. So he goes ahead and evens up the board as well. Alright, so we got some of our late game options, but let's go ahead and do this and see what we get. Alright. There are worse animals to pull. I mean, this is nice enough. We're a little hurt in this next turn if we don't top deck something useful. Interesting is a sorcerer that plays Sentinel. Yeah, the Leaf Lurker doesn't really help us much, so we take the trade. We jam an Ankle Snapper, and thus far it's just a mid-range like fight. If necessary, we do have this next turn. but I would like to avoid playing it if possible. If only because this ring charge to get us our Atro first feels like a pretty big deal. So I actually think that we're going to go ahead and do this.
The forest is my cleanse.
Again, still fighting for control of this field lane, largely because this can trade even, but if he pushes his face, the shear point will eat it. Or he'll use the dagger. Alright.
This one will be taking that.
So we did use the dagger. So now we, I think, officially lose control of our field lane here. Being a 4/4, this just dies to this, so let's go ahead and eat that. I don't really like right now losing this to this and then
This one.
being stuck with the lightning bolt there. I'm not a fan of that path. Let's go ahead and do this. I will definitely take
This one will be taking that.
an Atromancer.
Well,
And let's go ahead and do this. So that puts us in a pretty good spot because with the ring we get to play Atro first, and then we get to follow it up with yet another Atro, and then we also have a lot of reach in hand after that. So I think, at least right now, we're in a pretty good spot. Now the downside is we know that he has his own Atro, but
Elements,
let's go ahead and play the one that we stole from him to say thank you. Interesting that our Thief of Dreams was premium, so it gave us a premium Atromancer. However, the Flame Atronox that the premium Atromancer spawned were not premium. Kind of, I don't know if that's just because we stole that or not. Alright, that should be game. Barring a prophecy. Oh, and we hit our own prophecy. That is, yeah, that... That should seal it. As long as this survives, then the second one is worth 10. In fact, I think that the actual course of action here is what? I think we just play this anyway, right? We play this as opposed to attacking, because if we attack with this and he bolts this, we no longer have lethal. Actually, we do. Because of lightning bolt. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's just go ahead and attack. I'm overthinking it. So we just go ahead and do that, and then we do this. This is worth 10. That just locks down the game. So in case you're wondering why that works the way that it does, all creatures technically enter play at the same time. So you get 3 creatures that enter play, triggering for one, and 2 creatures that enter play for the other. That's 5 triggers, 10 damage, and there you have it. Assassin against Mono Endurance and Sorcerer, and we walk away with 2 wins.